Okay, hello and welcome, wonderful friends and people that I don't know who aren't friends but might be friends one day, or however you want to be identified. We're going to start painting here in just a moment. But I want this to be this live stream specifically. Oh, by the way, I'm getting some new paintbrushes. I just got a new set of paintbrushes. These are from Michaels. And these paintbrushes are, I don't know the name, but they're a synthetic tip, and I absolutely love these brushes. They're hard right now because I haven't loosened them up yet, but these are some great brushes. The poly tip bristle, they tend to last a long time. They're synthetic bristle, but I got these from Michaels. Probably one of my favorite brush sets, bristle types from Michaels is the Princeton sets. But with that, let me pop open my supplies before I ramble on about their art supplies. But if you're tuning in later, be sure to share a comment, promote yourself, whether it's a business or if you're an art page or maybe you're an art collector, whatever it is. If you want to promote your Instagram page or whatever, feel free to. This is what this specific live stream is for. Do some self promo for yourself, because sometimes at the end of the day you gotta take your business and everything into your own hands. And there's somebody at the door right now. Let me go grab the door before I get started here. Hey, I'm streaming. FYI. All right. So let's add a here we go. So this is the painting we're working on. Let me bring this a little closer so everybody can see. We're around.
Hi.
We're around.
Hi, where are you? Hi.
Let me loosen up this brush here. Yes, loosening up the brush. Just gotta dip it in a little bit of oil. That's all you gotta do to loosen up the brush. Dip it in some oil, wipe it down. Dip it in some more oil, wipe it down again. And that's what we're doing to loosen up this brush here. Once you add oil, it starts to become more bendable and moldable.
Some babies.
They're around.
Oh, I don't see them.
You didn't see them? Ah, it sounds crunchy. Ah, there we go. The sound of an oil painting brush loosening up. I love it. I love the crunchy sound of an oil paintbrush loosening up. And one more brush. So, everyone, I hope you're all doing wonderfully today. If you aren't, feel free to say you aren't. And hopefully you have a better day, better month, better week next time. We can all be doing better, right? Is there anyone on this planet that can say that everything is absolutely perfect? I don't know. Maybe there might be 5 or 10 people on this entire planet.
Hey.
But we can all
Scout, look at Scout.
Is he trying to mess with Fern while she's in the pooper?
Yes.
Our kittens are messing with each other while they're in a pooper. How funny is that? It is the funniest thing on the planet.
I don't think she's too happy about it. Don't bother her. She's an old lady.
It's like stealing someone's underwear while they're in the shower, in a public shower. All right, so let me get some of these brushes. Use this brush. and where's that brush that I was using? This is one of my favorite brushes, but let's see. One more. Let's get a nice. That's not it. That's not it either. Ah, here we go. Let's use this one. So all I'm doing right now is I'm doing paint overs here, and if any of you are tuning in, you can feel free to share your ats, to share your social media profiles, to do some of your self promo for anything, whether you're an artist, you're a business, whatever, all are welcome. But for now, let me see, how do I want to do this part? I think I want to keep our plants. I think I want to keep my plants fairly consistent. So the way these plants look, fairly consistent. So I'm going to go with the yellow here. We're just going to start building up some of the colors here. And I like how they're curved. So let's go and aim to keep this. And we're going to go just bring down some yellow here. Just to add, start to add some of the stemmery. These are some darker stems, so we'll bring that in as well. And I think since it's further away, I might have to make smaller stems just because the distance. If I want to show that it's further away in the painting, I just reduce the size of these. Reduce the size of these stems. And here we go. So, turning on with this painting here, just bringing some of these stems down, bringing some of the color in. And I could probably do the stems on that side as well. I'm going to make some of these stems a little bit bluer than green, rather than green, and we're just going to go ahead and make this. What? You have to leave right now? Oh, you got to go do your cat client, huh? Okay, cool. So here we go, adding in some yellows, some greens, some blues, and just, you know, doing a paint over this painting. My ultimate goal is to just make the color a little bit more lustrous, because when I originally painted this, it was about probably over a year ago now, quite a few months over a year. And I will say that although I felt confident with the brushwork, I will say that I really didn't know the best way of applying paint for the style that I was doing. And at the same time, when I paint outdoors, I tend to use a lot of mineral spirits, which means I tend to get, with the mineral spirits, I tend to get very thin paintings, and sometimes I can lose the luster. I can lose some of the luster over time of the paint. So doing some of the paint overs is very helpful to, you know, re-update the painting, especially if it doesn't sell right away, or I haven't had the chance to put it into like a gallery or something. So doing these paint overs is a thing that I'm working on for a lot of my older paintings. But one thing that's great is that the easy part about it, the thing that makes this easy, is it's already been painted. I just have to add my own interpretations of the painting. I don't actually have to do the work of planning it out or anything. Like when I paint outdoors, you have to plan things out. You have to, you know, lay it out. You have to decide what elements you're going to put into it. But because I've already done that hard work, I don't need to do it again, really. And at this point, it's just a matter of just aiming to capture the colors and everything. Why did they try to trick you, Cat?
No, she's eating. I saw her eating. It's like, oh, you got food.
And let's go later. See you soon. All right. Just adding little hints of white, red, yellow. Hints of yellow will really make this pop. So here we go. Just building up these colors again. Trying to keep the strokes a little smaller and not as big as these front ones. Smaller strokes of color. Stems, basically, is what I'm painting in, is the stems for these pieces here. The stems for all the flowers. And I don't need to make them too big. I can just decrease it. And because I'm not going for realism, if I was going for realism, I would have, what I should have done is taken a photo and planned to repaint over it a year later. But that's not what I did. And right now I don't have a photo of this. So basically I do have the opportunity to pretty much make up what I remember. And if I was going for total realism, there would probably be a countable number of flowers, like, you know, a row of like 10 by 10 flowers. But because I'm going from memory, or not even memory, just basically going off of what I see here, I have the opportunity to really just get creative and add as many flowers as I like to really heighten the colors that were in this garden. And this is a fairly small painting. It's only, I want to say this is like 10 by 12 by 14 inches, or 10 by 14, 10 by 16, I don't know exactly, or maybe 8 by 12. But anyway, as we go into these colors, I'm trying to keep them a little brighter as we go into the distance, because that's what happens with light usually, is that as things go further into the distance, they become lighter. If you ever look at mountains, or closer to white in value, I guess, because due to the atmosphere, but if you ever look at mountains, you'll see that some of the mountains that are closer to you are actually lighter looking. So, or darker, or more colorful looking. You'll see like darker greens. But as you go into the distance, it will start to look as if the colors are, there's more atmosphere in between you and the mountain, which means the mountain's going to start to look a little bit more whitened. And here we go. Time for some roses. Let's pop in some yellow roses here. We're going to pop some yellow, but we want to highlight this with some white. So we're going to make some yellowy white, yellow white, to really create a yellow that pops. Here we go. Just go yellow there. There we go. Some yellow, yellow. There were some yellow roses, white roses, all sorts of different colored roses. And you can go with, add a little bit of an ochre into this, just to give it a darker shade of rose here. And this variety of, I do remember there being like a huge variety of like rose colors. So I do have the opportunity to add that in right now that I don't think I did the greatest job of capturing previously. So right now I have the opportunity to make up for that, because I think previously I didn't have the right colors. I only had a couple of reds, but now I have more reds. Since then I've definitely picked up color mixing a little bit better. And with that, I get the opportunity to add a variety of colors, flowers, designs, and all that exciting stuff. So here we go, adding yellow into this side as well. This is like an off yellow, but that's okay. We're going to go with an off yellow here, just to add flowers. I'm not really painting these flowers in super detail. I'm just going with just a loose look of how these flowers are. Get the idea, right? So that's the one thing I learned. The more and more I look at art, this idea of a gestalt principle really stands out to me. And if you don't know what gestalt is, basically gestalt means the whole is greater than its parts. I think that's the definition, something like that. But basically what it means is whenever you look at something, say a painting, and this is especially, I think a helpful idea for artists who really get stuck in details, um, is if you learn the principle of Gestalt. And basically what Gestalt is, as I mentioned, it means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts or something like that. And basically what it means is for artists is that at some level, when people first look at your paintings and things like that, the first thing they notice, and this might sound too obvious, but the first thing that people notice when they look at artwork is the whole picture, right? No one's going to look at this and say, oh, look at, like, start with the flower and then analyze every piece, unless it captures their attention that much. They're going to start with the idea that this is a painting of a field. They're going to, you know, anybody who looks at this is, the majority of people who look at this are going to start with the idea that it's just a painting of a rose garden. It starts in that sense. And then if you're able to capture someone's attention, then the details really matter. But I think for people who get stuck on the idea that they have to be super detailed and everything, this idea of understanding Gestalt and how people take in information can be really helpful, because unless, of course, you truly, truly, truly love super detail, but sometimes if you get lost in the detail, and you need help breaking away from that, just learning a little bit about Gestalt can be helpful, because, or just like looking at how you go view a painting. Whenever you go into an art museum or whatever, if you ever look at a painting, chances are you look at the whole thing, and then if the whole thing excites you, then you go into the details. Then you know, get up really close and you try to like figure out how the artist made their marks, and that's, I think, the proof that Gestalt is the same, even for talented artists who know how to paint and are trying to study an artist, is that rarely do people ever just like look at a painting and just start with the details. You know, you got to get their attention first, and then they'll go into the details. But as far as general painting is concerned, you know, don't get too lost in the details, unless that's the type of art you like to do. That's the type of art you want to be known for. But if you feel like you're getting stuck, it's worth checking out this Gestalt principle. Just, if anything, just to pick up some ideas. But we're gonna add in some of this yellow here, like right there. Maybe I should have been using more paint. I don't know. Should have been using more paint. Being too shy with this paint here. So I'm adding roses wherever. It's gonna be tons of pops of color. Add lots of roses. Why not? Why not? It is a rose garden. And there we go. Let's add another pop of color right here. Little piece right there. That one's going to stay red. We're going to keep that all red pretty much. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. We're making this rose garden much more dense than it was as far as all these colors are concerned. But let's keep going. What do I really have to do? Not too much more, actually. What do I still have to do? Not too much more. Clean off this brush. And here we go. Let's use one of our thicker brushes here. Got this wonderful little small tip filbert, and let's see what we can do about this area. Let's start with our ochre here and try to make a dirt color. I'm gonna go with like a dirt color. Add some white. Grab some white here. Add some white into this dirt color. Make it a nice bright light ochre. Add some more yellow into it. This ochre needs some more yellow. Let's see how this color works, like a gold. Yeah, there we go. I like this color. All right. And this color is just getting painted on top. And here we go. Let's add this color down into this section right here, just to get rid of this black area. And there's no shadow on this, even though you could tell one side is lighter than the other. But you know, we're gonna go ahead and just leave that, and let's see what we can do about just adding some more. Let's save that section for last. Just adding this color in nice and thick. It's just not even that thick, but here we go. Yeah, so here's the problem is I painted flowers first, which means now I have to be much more careful when I'm painting the road. But you know what? I think I can spice this up with some colors here. Let's find a good color here. We'll go with the yellow. Let's just add some yellow. Boom. Make this a nice yellow road. Make this a nice yellow road. Here we go. Boom. And that's just spicing this up a bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of dirt road right here. And then let's see how we can make this pop. Some of this section area can pop. So this is gonna go around here. And let's see, we're gonna go with, let's bring in some of our white, lighten this up a bit. We're gonna go around. Our yellows. And bring in our ochre here. Bring in our ochre, bring that around. With our yellow. Bring that down. Bring this area. Add some color and texture to this area right down here. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Bring that across. This is really just to add some more design. Que lindo. Boa noite. Fernando Ribeiro. Thank you. I don't know if that's in Espanol or Portuguese or Italian. I think que lindo's Espanol, but boa noite does not seem Spanish to me. It seems more Italian or Portuguese. So thank you. Either way, whatever language that's in. Here we go. So here we go. Just making this area pop a little bit more by adding a variety of color. And you know what? Let's go here and add in some blue. Why not? Let's add in some blue just to make it pop a little bit more. Bring out some of the colors here. And boom, boom. And then let's bring in our ochre. And right here, right here. Grab a nice thick yellow, bring that around. Let's maybe add some more yellows right into here, just in between each layer here. Grab some blue. Let's go in between. Let's just see how it goes. Let's add in this color. Why not? And it just creates a little sense of movement. That's it. That's what we're going for. I think that's good. So here we go. We're going to go maybe right here. Right down here. Just give it a sense of color, some more colors just to add into this. And here we go. Pull in some more light colors, and we're going to go around. And let's see. Trying to find the right color combos here. This is yellow and this purple really helps to stand out. It's not really a purple actually. It's a little bit darker than a purple, but I think it pops a little too much. So I want to bring this down a bit. And grab some more of this yellow here, right from around. And the real question is, does it create a sense of movement? Does it make things feel like there's action, there's stuff going on? That's one of my goals. So when I first got into painting and stuff, one thing an artist said that really spoke to me. So she was actually a sculptor. I met a sculptor early on when I started painting, and one thing that really stood out to me, she's a pretty well known sculptor. She does sculptures for cities, and like for athletic sculptures for stadiums and things. So she's a successful sculptress. And one thing when I was talking to her, really stood out to me when I met her, is she was talking about how her criticism of like sculptures is this idea that a lot of sculptures, her criticism was that a lot of sculptures don't really they make their sculptures really stiff. And that was her biggest criticism of like the modern sculptor. And that really stood out to me as far as a lesson on painting goes, is it made me feel as if I should make an effort to not make stiff paintings. So what I mean by that is you can really tell when you see a painter who, when you look at a painting, and you could see like the type of painting that was painted outdoors in plein air versus a painting that was just done in a studio, which is basically what I'm doing. I'm not painting outdoors, as you could tell, but you can really tell the difference between some painters who paint an outdoor scene and they painted it inside the studio using a photo versus painting outdoors, working with time against you, as the sun's constantly moving around and you having to constantly make decisions on the fly of how you're going to capture a certain area or location or look before the sun moves. And that can become a real challenge, but it does create a sense of movement, I think. If you do it enough and you paint outdoors enough, you can really start to get a sense of like what a painting that feels too still feels like versus I think paintings that seem to have a little bit more motion in them or expression. And that really stood out to me, that lesson from that artist. But some plot holes here, but overall exciting painting for me. So let's see, I'm trying to figure out what I still need to do here. You know what I need to do to get rid of this brush. So Divya Ram asks, is that acrylic or oil? So this is all oil. Yes. And here's a question, what makes you ask? Are you looking to get into acrylic or oil? But this is all done with oil. So the original painting was done in oil, which is the underneath, which you'd have to watch the previous live stream to see what it looked like originally. And then right now I'm just using thick layers of just straight oil paint on top. Yep, just straight oil paint, straight from the tube pretty much. And all oil. I might use a lot of mineral spirits that thin the paint a lot on my first layer. But right now, we're doing fine without any sort of any extra materials. But yeah. So yeah, one thing that I heard from an artist, and by the way, I've never used acrylic, but supposedly one way you can really tell with an oil painting is, I think, there's more color mixing on a palette. You can see more color mixtures. Whereas I think with acrylic, colors tend to stay a bit purer because it dries so quickly. But you can see for oil, a lot of these colors are sort of like meshing into each other, and there's just a variety of colors in the trees and everything. I'm not saying that's not possible with acrylic. You work really fast with acrylic, but I think that's the biggest difference. Ace Rupak. Ace, there's a chance I remember you, but you got to remind me. I mean, I can't remember exactly every detail about you, which I think is a good thing, not a bad thing. But you know what? I have met a few people probably that go by the name Ace. Ace is a very cool word that a lot of people would love to have in their username, I think. So, yeah, refresh my memory, dude. Or dudette, or whatever. Refresh my memory. Here we go. So we're going to go around this sculpture. Oops. Got some color onto my... Here we go. So we're going to go around like so. Acrylic becomes a bit too opaque. Yeah, so I haven't actually used acrylic. So, I'd love to hear I love to hear how other people feel about their mediums, because I've definitely never used acrylic. I've been thinking about getting into watercolor, but it's like every time I go out to buy paints and I'm thinking about buying like more watercolor, I just get sucked right into buying more oil paints, because I feel like there's still so many color combinations of oil paints to explore, and I always feel like I can never have enough white, or I can never have enough like variety of greens or blues or whatever for color mixing. And you can tell that I'm a very thick painter, and this is probably the 10th palette that I've had the color of, and I tend to not be very paint efficient, in the sense that I usually waste a lot of paint, because I'll just leave like huge chunks, and I just feel like I always need more oil paint. So that would be the main thing that has stopped me from getting into any other mediums. I've done oil pastel. I've done oil pastel. I just can't pull myself out of doing oils. I love oils. Yeah, say a tip. Go ahead. Share a tip. Do share. Please share any advice and wisdom you would love to share. Heck, share your Instagram profile if you like, and promote your course. If you have a course, go ahead. I do enjoy a good tip. Better if the tip is a tip to the channel, like a financial tip. But hey, sometimes some of the best advice comes from random people. The best painting tip I ever got was so I was painting outdoors. I was sitting in a park painting, and these two little girls and their father came up to me, and there was the dad, his daughter, and his niece. So a dad, picture a dad, a daughter, and a niece, and they come up to me, and the daughter of the father comes up to me and says, "Hey, my cousin is a painter too, and she just wanted to see your stuff." So I was like, "Oh, cool. Does she want to paint on it?" And she taught me the best lesson I've ever learned from a painting, from something seeing painting, was she left these marks that were just absolutely brilliant on my paintbrush, on my canvas. And I feel like at some level she knew what I was trying to do, but I just was not doing it because I was just starting out. And I think from that one, those couple of brush strokes that she did, uh, I totally changed the way I painted because she showed me how it was done. It's pretty cool. So this sculpture, it's green. I should probably throw in some ochre here, some ochre and white. That is one thing I love about live streaming artwork, though, is that I have had people like come in and just be like, "Oh yeah, here's something you could do." And one of my favorite viewers, who also live streams, Omizu Paints, he's often looking at my work, and he shares his ideas and thoughts, and I enjoy it. I love getting a new idea or a thought that I can apply to my practice. Now, sometimes it can get annoying. This is where it actually gets annoying. Is when I'm painting like outdoors, and then somebody comes up to you, but they don't go away, and they just like sit there and hover, and keep trying to give you tips the whole time. And that's really annoying to me. But you know what? I think it comes with the territory. If you're gonna choose to do something such as painting outdoors, you have to be prepared for that, right? It's like if you're a celebrity, if you're famous, you have to go outdoors and expect that people are going to want to come up to you and take a photo with you. And I'm not saying that my work is attracting that kind of attention, like celebrity attention. I'm just saying that it's important to be prepared for what can possibly come if you're going to paint outdoors. And I find the prospect of painting outdoors incredibly exciting. But you gotta sometimes roll with the punches, roll with the challenges. So getting a nice darker color here, so I can go around the outside here. Let's go inward, bring it in a little bit, add in some of the shadow. And it looks like Divya has not shared our tip yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing the tip. But I shall wait. I shall wait for eternity or for only a few moments. Whenever that time comes, I will be ready to accept the tip. So here we go. Let me clean off this brush right here. Let's see, how do I want to paint in this back? Let's go with something a bit flatter. And we're gonna go with some flat areas. Just go grass around the tree. Some grass. Let me darken this a little bit. Some darker colors going around just to change it up. And here we go. Continuing on with this, let's see. Just create the illusion that the salt disappears. And you know what, let's go and just do the background now. So the background is going to be mostly blue. So what I want to do is use thick blue and white. So thick amounts of blue and white. Like an ocean blue. There we go, let's find a good. I capture the ocean sky, which is like a beautiful baby blue. See, is that? It's a nice light blue. Maybe a little bit more of our ultramarine. I think that's good. So here we go. Let's go in between these trees here. Give it a sense of atmosphere. No, we're just going to paint nice and thick into and in between these trees and around. We're also going to eventually add a bit more detail with these colors here. So this is what's great about a paint over is really have the opportunity to redo whatever I felt like it was that it needed to be done that I didn't do before. How nice is that, huh? It's great. And here we go. We go right into here. Let's go paint around this. And that really does add for a fluffy background. So I will add this color, and once I'm done with this, I will go ahead and add more color into the background. But for now, I just want to fill the space to get some more dimension. and to give a better feel of what we're going to have in the background. And here we go. Actually, right here, I can actually paint over some of the areas right here. Paint over right there. And I think it makes it really nice and fluffy, this scene right now. Looks cloudy, a nice light blue. Looks like there's a hill there. I'm changing it up a little bit. So, as I mentioned, I can't remember exactly what the scene was. So, in a sense, I've lost the pressure of having to paint it what it looks like. And now I have the opportunity to make an effort to make it my own, to add my own details that maybe weren't necessarily there. So here we go. I'll go around this thing, and there we go. You know what? Let's add some blue into this sky here. I think with this white here, I can just throw down some blue and make it look give it some dimension here. And maybe throw in some yellow from the sun. I don't know where the sun was. It's probably coming down from a different area, but we'll just throw in this yellow. Just throw it in. Make it all seem to just merge together. And grab some more of this blue. I think blue, ultramarine is a good color to just allow it to just do its work. There we go. Do the job. Ultramarine. There we go. Ultramarine doing work right there. And let's grab a little bit of pink. I want to just grab a little bit of white, or red, I mean. I don't know my colors, apparently. Grab a little bit of red, mix it in with our blue, and just give it a little bit of a purple color. And that's where we're going to just throw some of this into here, just to give it an atmospheric look. Let's give it some atmosphere. Let's throw this into some of our trees so that, you know, it looks like some of the light might be shining through just a little bit. Grab some more of this. And it does look cloudy, so what can I do to reduce the cloud formation? I need to... Let's find a good greenish blue to mold into this skyline. It's a little bit too white. Okay. And part of me feels like I want to push this atmosphere a bit lower. Just a bit lower here. I think that's just getting a little bit better. Just want this sky to be a bit bluer. So I want to add in some more blue here. Just to darken it a little bit compared to our white. Oh, and you know what? I think I was able to see the ocean, but you can't really tell that from this. Sadly. Can't really tell that there was an ocean because I was standing on a hill. But I might just have to leave this as is, and I can't remember if I could see an ocean from here or not. But this blue is definitely helping. It's helping me get to where I want to go. Maybe if I just give the idea of an ocean. Let's give the ideas of an ocean here. Just adding some atmosphere. Atmosphere. Finding just the right combination of color to throw down here. Section right here. Here we go. Is that better? And I think we are done with this. Maybe I'll come back another year and paint over this, but excuse me, I like where this is at. Oh, you know what? One thing I still have to do is this little plaque that was on the front, so I gotta do that with a thinner brush. I'm gonna go with a thinner brush here. Go with a much thinner brush. Clean off this brush. And let's see, we're gonna go with a dark brown for the outline. And then on the inside, we could throw in some greens, yellows. I want to add some yellow highlights, some white yellow highlights. I don't want to leave it too dark and flat with this. Let's just add a couple little highlights here. And in here, in this bucket too. Oh yeah, actually this guy needs flowers in his hands. Let's see. What should we do? Right here, this bucket needs some more dimension. And he needs some dried flowers in his hands. So let's go with a thinner brush now. Our finishing touches are going to be done with like a nice thin brush. Or you know what? I should try to put my signature right down here before I get into that. I should put my signature. All right. Let's give him some dead plant material, because that's what he was taking care of, was dried plants. I'm gonna give it a couple different colors here. Let's go. We're going to throw in some green and yellow just to change up the colors a little bit in this in the stuff that he has in his hand. Make it a little bit more dense. You know what? I'm going to throw some into here as well, just to give them a sense of what was going on in the scene. He's working. The man was working. And there we go. I think we're finished. Oh wait, did it cut off? Oh wait, it's cut off this painting this entire time. And overall, I gotta say, I'm happy with this piece. And I think we're ready to move on. Fantastic. All right, cool. So fun project. What is next? All right, I think our next piece, for our next magic trick, let's see, what should we do? For our next magic trick, I like to do this one. So maybe, I don't know if I can actually stick this one on top. Let's see what we can do about this piece. By the way, I absolutely highly recommend if you don't already to get yourself, if you're in a small space especially, get yourself a nice little easel like this. Because as you can tell, the space that I have is pretty limited, and this easel is like the perfect little mini painting studio. I can hold all of my supplies behind it, or most of my supplies, cleaning supplies, all my extra brushes and palette knives can hide behind here. You can store paints in it. So this easel right here, and it can hold the painting, I think, up to like maybe 30 inches. So 30 inches high, but you can fit it as far wide as you need. So it's actually absolutely fantastic. An entire studio in one. You can't really beat that. But before I start on this, I think I need to take a photo of my other one. I think I need to do that. Let me see. Let me grab a photo here before I forget. Stand this up maybe. All right, let's continue on here. So, what do we got going on? Let's do this. I like where this is at, but there's just there's a lot missing. Let me try to analyze this. I mean, I don't know. This is a style in itself. It is definitely a. It's a style. But I just feel like it's a. I just feel like there's something missing from it, but I'm not sure. It just feels so roughly painted. I don't know. I don't know if I want to paint over this because it's unique. But I do think that perhaps there might be a way to improve some areas. There's always room for improvement, right? I like how the red is shining through. However, like down here, just like it doesn't really have like much color detail as much as I'd like. But maybe that's for the better. Let me see. What was I doing with these? I have no idea what these little, I can't tell if something scratched this painting or whether I actually put these marks. Maybe I put those marks. Hard to say. Because it is possible that some of these marks were left from somewhere else, but it does add some variety. Let me think of how I want to tackle this, because I don't want to paint over the whole thing. I like some of the effects that have happened here. I like how this building looks. Maybe there's something I could do to make this ground level pop here. It's really a parking lot. And let me see. I want to keep the mountain like this sharp crispiness, the house like this sharp building crispiness, but I also don't like the way that some of the grass looks. I'm just trying to think what I can do as far as this section goes. It just looks messy. It doesn't have like a like a good feel to it. So who goes there? It's my neighbor. Hey, I thought I heard somebody. Alright, so let's see. We're going to do this section. You got to find the right brush. Oh, here's a brush I haven't really had the opportunity to use. So this is a a long flat. And let me see what we can do. What kind of colors do I want to be pervasive here? Let's just start laying down some ochre. I want to go I want to keep it fun. You know, I want to keep this interesting, this design like colorful and brushy. But I just don't like where it's at right now. That's why I feel the need to do stuff. And here we go. How can we keep this fun? Keep this coloring fun. Add a couple of little bits of blue. Let's add some blue here. Why not? Add some blue here. Let's go with our ochres here. I don't like how flat it looks though. It looks like one section not really transitioning into the other as well as it could be. Like I don't like that it just like kind of has this like flat transition area, this hard transition. And I think it's happening because of the brush. But I don't want to avoid using this brush too much because it's a really nice brush. This is a really nice brush. So I got to find a good way to use it to figure out how to make it work for these paintings. And maybe I just use it from its side here. There we go. I use it to like blend colors and everything. And this is experimental as far as what I'm doing for this road, because I already don't like the road. So whatever I do, no matter what, it's probably going to be better than how I feel about it currently. So whatever I feel about this now, it can only get better. Can only get better. Let's see how this can go. Let's grab some of this blue here. Maybe we could pop these into some of these spaces right here. Right down. Let's go just a little bit down. Pop it in. Add these blue. Little hints of blue here. And bring that down. And let's see about this section here. I don't know how it's coming along. How do I feel? Still some room for improvement. Let's see where this is going. Not sure I like it. Can't say that I'm totally convinced of this effort. What? Ah, yes. Hold on 1 second. Got it? Yeah. See? And I don't know if I like what I just did. Maybe I need some more brush work. Do something with some brush work. I'm trying to find my own creative flavor of brush work here. Obviously. Oh, they're doing okay.
I just met a cat that looks a lot like Fern
Oh yeah?
from San Diego.
Oh yeah?
It was a rescue.
Oh yes, there's
There's a lot of Siamese rescue groups down there. Oh,
it's the paint over.
okay, cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I did everything I needed to do.
Good.
Kittens, how you doing, sweeties? You can lie in the bed with me? Hi. Hi, Simba. I feel less than me. Yeah.
There we go. Really just adding color. Just lighten this all up in this central area here. Lighten it up a bit, just adding white. Let's add some more white. I am recording.
Sending me stuff. Over and over.
You know what? And this is okay. I might paint over it again. I don't know if I really like how this floor has turned out. But right now is a good time to let's paint some grass, shall we? Clean this brush off. And go again. So the grasses that were really close are definitely going to be much bigger. So let's just paint it down. could really go pretty quick with this. Can almost do it really, give it a little neon glow almost with these. Let's grab some more of this green, pop it down a little bit right down here, add some dimension to it. Let's see. Let's go boom 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 boom. Get a rhythm going, right? Boom 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 boom. Actually, I can even go thicker. Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. And here we go. Grab some of the darker green now. Let's go boom 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 Let's grab some blue, actually. Grab some blues. Play with this color with some blues. Go boom, 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 boom. Actually, it kind of just darkens it a little bit, but it's okay. Some dark grass. Some boom, 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 boom. Let's grab some of this ochre. I'm gonna go into here, capture some of the dried grass. Grab some nice thick yellows. Go back down into here. There's a lot of green. Okay, let's go around here. Maybe I can just go up like this. Because this was actually really close to me, this area of paint. Maybe what we can do is we just stick with this like abstraction of space using the colors rather than trying to capture the form. Capture the precise form that we had. All right, that's interesting, but it really does change up the feel of the entire painting. Which, watch out, kitty. Which I don't know how I'm gonna navigate that entire transformation of this painting here. I guess into here we can go super dark blue. Let's see. We basically do the same thing. And the only difference is I do have to be a little bit more. A little bit more density to these.
Are you looking for food,
Make
guys?
the marks a little smaller, but I can still, it's okay with to give it this little pasted on look, I think. I think I could work with that. Let's see, go around in front of this apartment thing.
Bring my food up from the car.
Yeah, it's in the fridge.
Thank you.
You know what I should try? Instead of trying to use this big brush to fill this space right now, the big brush worked for, well, this isn't really even a big brush, but the big brush really worked for this area. But I don't know if it's necessarily going to work for these smaller spaces. So I'm going to grab an even smaller brush now. Let's grab a smaller brush, perhaps a thinner brush. Call it a thinner brush. Let's see, which brush should I use? That would give me a thinner thing than this. I don't need to use an ultra thin brush. Here, let's break in our Princeton poly tip bristle brush. This is absolutely brand new. It's got a nice sharp tip, which my brushes don't usually have this much of a tip. And we're just gonna go in, we're gonna have some fun. Let's have some fun. Boom, 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 boom. Just going in, boom, 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 boom. And because this is so exciting, I can just go ahead and just do really quick brush strokes. Maybe I'll go at an angle over here and another angle over here. And we'll see what happens. I'm not the type of artist that's going to paint every blade of grass. There are some artists who will, that are incredibly detailed and beautiful when it comes to that. And then there's some artists who even just have really nice tricks for painting grass. Like, you know, they're so good that they make it seem as if they painted every blade of grass when they really didn't. You know, there's some artists that are just that good. So, you know, it all depends, but I prefer to go for like an abstractor look if I can, depending on the scene. And let's go into here. We're going to add some different color variety into here. Let's go at an angle right here. And another angle right here. And let's grab some yellows. And we're going to go into here. And although I won't paint every single blade of grass, I will paint many blades of grass. Then we give it a really musical look here, right? Like a little musical, just this interplay of greens. Lots of greens. Maybe we'll throw in some blues just to change it up a little bit. Let me add some of this purple. Change it up. You know what? I should probably do that into here too. Let's see if we can find a good orange brown into here as well. Let's just throw orange straight on top, red straight on top of it and see what happens. Is it adding anything? Not really. Maybe if we go with this lighter color. Throw in some whites. Some white colors. There we go. Maybe we could just build this up bit by bit, section by section. That's just to add a little bit, let's see, add a little bit of extra colors. Let's see what we can do as we start to just build across this. Something a little different. Something to make it. Because like previously, you know, it just looked, it didn't really look right. It didn't really sit well to me. Too much was showing through. Too much brown on this, I feel. So if I can at least give it this like textured effect, which I'm actually liking right now, this mixture of colors that help to create this dimensionality in our painting, I think I can live with this. I still need to fix this area. I'm not a big fan of this, but we will figure that out at some point. But for now, I'm just happy trying to lay down all these different colors that capture capture the scene. Maybe I need some more color into here. Add some variety into here. Too much of the same leads to a boring painting. Gotta do something different. Too much of the same leads to a boring painting. So I'm gonna add some down here just to lighten up, break up this dark space here. And I think this is going somewhere. I think we're going places, people. We're going good places. If you're not going anywhere, you can just stay here, and we will use our imaginations to go other places. That's what this is about. It's imagination, people. So adding white just to highlight. Maybe I could add some pink. Let's add this white and then a pink right here, just to give it some more pop and color here. Here we go. And then grab this green and yellow, and there's still so much texture into this that I like, that I don't necessarily want to lose. And I'm hoping that these little brush strokes just add to the overall feel. Now let's see how we want to do these large trees. Do we want to do anything with them? So for those of you watching, this isn't really a tutorial. If anything, if I was to be doing a tutorial on anything with this, It would mostly be just sharing, my creative thought process as far as where, I'm going with each individual section. Just the individual thought process. Sometimes I think that's helpful just to know, what if I ever watch, whenever I watch like live streams, sometimes, and it's not done often enough, it's good to hear like, the thoughts that are going on in an artist's head, what made them do that. And sometimes it's not explained. Sometimes it is. I feel like it looks so different now. I'm gonna have to rethink this as far as where the rest of the painting is gonna go. Because there's this difference between this scratchy brush that I used. It's a very scratchy brush. I don't know if y'all can tell that. And then this other brush effect that I've been using. But I wonder. Yeah, good job. Some of the paint stayed nice and thick on this painting. And there's just these like little dark textures. But what do I do? I need a thinking break. Alright, so for those of you that are watching, I'm going to end the painting for this evening. And if you're still here, thank you for being here, but in my mind to your brain, as small as it is, your brain only makes up like 5 or 10% of your entire body. 10% of your entire body weight, but it makes up like 30 or 40% of your energy consumption. How crazy is that? If you want to lose weight, if you really want to lose weight, all you really need to do is think really hard all day long. I do truly believe. Alexa, cancel. Alexa, does thinking burn calories?
From healthline.com. So thinking burns calories. It's not enough to cause weight loss.
Okay, well, according to Alexa, what I just said is not true, but I beg to differ. I believe that thinking can burn calories. If you think really hard about something long enough, you can do it. Especially, Alexa didn't specify how many calories. So if you limit yourself to a certain amount of calories and you think a lot, I'm sure that it could have an effect. Like, if you eat, let's just say thinking only burns 20 calories an hour. If you think for an hour straight, and you eat 100 less calories, if you think for 5 hours straight, you've, in a sense, doubled the amount of calories that you've reduced in your body. So you eat 20 less calories per hour, and then you eat 100 less calories per day. What the heck? Something got mixed up here. If you eat 100 less calories per day, and then you think for 20, you burn 20 calories an hour from thinking. Again, that's hypothetical. You're reducing and increasing your calorie consumption by 100, and you're reducing your calorie consumption by 100. Or your calorie burning. That's a lot. Especially on a 2,000 calorie diet, that's a whole 10% there. Alright, that was a little random stray thought for the day. But we're going to take a pause on that. Take a break. Huh? You should walk. Yeah, walking is great for burning calories. All right, so thanks again, everybody. We're gonna call this finished for the day. Take care.